World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and welcome to week 10 of...
The Summer of Jackie Chan!
And this week we'll be looking at The Foreigner. Again. But not. You might remember that I already reviewed a movie called The Foreigner for week 9 of The Summer of Steven Seagal. This is not that. This is a Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan flick from 2017, based on the Stephen Leather novel, The Chinaman. So it's one of those dark and serious thriller drama movies aging action stars get cast in so they don't have to move around as much. Great, that's like one of my favorite genres of film right there, right next to found footage. In any case, The Foreigner is a tale of two stories clashing together. A man loses everyone he's ever loved and begins to hunt down those responsible. Like Taken if Liam Neeson had nothing to gain except the satisfaction of breaking some skulls. On the flip side, though, the ones claiming responsibility are unknown within the organization they're affiliated with, and so a former terrorist must clean house and find out which of his terrorist underlings have been terroristing a little too hard. I mean, you know how this genre works. Make a plotline so twisty pretzel fucked up that everyone watching just has to nod their heads and agree that the movie's so smart now, isn't it? Well, let's take a look at The Foreigner and find out. Our story opens up to Jackie Chan playing a character whose full name I have no hope of pronouncing right, so I'll just call him Mr. Kwan. He's chauffeuring his daughter, Fan, played by Katie Lung, buying a dress for her date.
His name's Chappie. On the football team in very... Chappie.
Like that robot from the movie with Diane Wood, Chappie? And these crossovers are getting crazy. However, after he drops her off, an asshole driver with no regard for turn signals just swerves around him before, surprise, he's trying to parallel park. Time to exchange insurance information. And yeah, that's what it's like. Tragedies don't happen with slow-motion shots of hoodie-bedecked ne'er-do-wells set to spooky music. They just happen. Almost immediately there's a call to the news group by someone taking credit for the bombing. They say they did it in the name of the authentic IRA, which either has something to do with the group the Irish Republican Army or individual retirement accounts. I'm not certain. Well, we all know what's the most important thing to do in this situation. Get that picture of death and pain that'll be shared around the world in no time. Okay, good angles, nice use of music, which has been pretty dialed back up to this point, and a pretty good sense of conveying the tragedy we're seeing, though I have a strange feeling that a lot of the feeling I'm getting from this is based on having experienced some similar things myself. Our merry band of terrorists seems to be comprised of young, impressionable idiots who seem to think that the only way to get, whatever it is they're trying to do, is murder as many innocent people as possible. Word of their antics reaches Pierce Brosnan, who plays former IRA head-turned-politician Liam Hennessy. He's just trying to have a nice extramarital affair with his mistress Maggie, played by Charlie Murphy, but now word of the bombing is reaching him from none other than his wife, Mary, played by Orla Brady. The deaths are one thing. His farting around the question of exactly where he has been is another.
Well, the guest room wasn't slept in.
Who said I slept?
Oh, got the crap, Liam.
You didn't come home plain and simple.
And what if I didn't?
I swear, no one can even get takeout in one of these movies without hearing the myriad of ways they got the order wrong. Hey, wait a minute. When's the last time I actually ordered takeout and got the order right? So in case the affair wasn't a big enough hint, yeah, his marriage is a bit rocky. Even worse, the recent bombings and the credit going to Made with Real Cheese IRA means his political career is also looking less stable than before. Only one thing to do then, gather up all the IRA heads he still knows very well and is very much associated with, and grill them as to just what in the fuck is going on here.
Now that we're all here, does anyone know who this authentic IRA is? Are they even part of the IRA?
And they'll just sit there stone silent like, ooh, Daddy Brosnan's mad again. The big thing that pisses him off, though, is the deaths of innocent women and children.
This bombing rivals Oma with its civilian deaths. It's unacceptable. Anytime, anywhere.
Well, I don't know about you, but in video games, I'd just shoot more innocent bystanders if the result was Pierce Brosnan grilling me over it. There's the idea that, hey, maybe these guys aren't related to the IRA at all. You think about that? Problem is, the police know the semtext used was the same batch from the real IRA dumps, and they used the IRA's secret code words, so at least someone in the inside is working with them. Someone Liam intends to stamp out, so as to not throw away Ireland's peace with Britain. The Metropolitan Police Service is also working on finding out just who is responsible, but Commander Richard Bromley, played by Ray Fearon, also has to deal with the public, such as Mr. Kwan. He's arrived, requesting some information, which he is more than willing to pay for.
£20,000. All I have for the names of the bombers.
Drive me to their house and you'll get free fried rice for life. However, this game is not pay to win, and Bromley rejects the bribe. Besides, he's the commander of the Metropolitan Police. They've got this, and he tells Kwan that him coming down there every single day is only getting in the way of them doing their job. So he heads home, defeated. However, he might not need the help of the police to get the information he wants anyway.
People look for scapegoats, for a way out, and for some, they are more than happy to resort to violence to upset the status quo.
It turns out Liam's IRA past and present are catching up to him, and he has an interview on the telly detailing all the things he knows and doesn't quite know, and it's one of those ominous interviews with all the foreshadowing, but never mind any of that, we've got vengeance to do! Thus he goes from bothering the police for hours on end to bothering Liam's people. Staying on hold for over a half hour to talk to the man, he asks the guy to give him the names of the bombers. Liam doesn't know, but being a politician also works to downplay his relationship with the IRA, to which Kwan retorts the IRA and the elected officials are just two ends of the same snake.
Whichever end you grab, you still grab a snake.
It makes a great deal of difference which end you grab, because one end will bite.
To be fair, that end's gonna bite you no matter which end of the snake you grab. You'd think an Irishman would know better how to deal with snakes. Point is, Kwan's not going to be getting any help from him today. Oh well, guess it's time for that poetic depression scene where we see Mr. Kwan burn his family pictures. Because, doesn't have family anymore. Like, at all. Look at this news clipping. He had other daughters that were also killed in his backstory. So with nothing left to lose but his restaurant, he just gives that property over to his friend Lam, played by Tao Lu. Great, now he has absolutely nothing left. Nothing, that is, except a drive for revenge. So a quick stop at a hardware store and a masking of this handy-dandy van, and he sets out on his quest. First things first, find a nice apartment to rent for now, and then it's back to Liam Hennessy's office. This time, to wait to speak with the man in person. Or is he? He came with a bag of groceries and a dangerous Swiss Army knife.
Jesus, how much damage can he do with you two around? Let him be.
I don't know, man. He could file his nails razor sharp and then corkscrew your eyes out. So he does get to sit down and talk with him. Unfortunately, this one goes just about as well as the chat on the phone. Liam has no idea who the bombers were and thus can't help. But that's not to say there's nothing new in this exchange. Kwan kinda sorta asks exactly how Liam would feel if it was his wife and daughter who got bombed. So, not helping still? Well, you'll change your mind soon. Dun dun dun! So after we have another awkward bow and handshake mix-up, Mr. Kwan gets down to business, heading to the men's room. Don't worry, it's because his little bag of groceries was actually all the tools he needs to MacGyver up a devious little device to help get his point across that yes, you will give him the names. Or else.
I'm sorry, Liam. He took me by surprise.
Oh, for the love of... What have I told you people about taking your lunch at Chipotle? Fortunately for everyone involved, that bomb wasn't particularly large. If anyone else heard nature calling at that moment, they'd be dead as shit, but luckily enough, no one was even hurt. The police believe this is because it was a warning. It doesn't take long at all for Liam to realize exactly who sent it.
You come to my office and plant a fucking bomb?
Have you changed your mind?
Change my mind? Are you out of your fucking tree?
And while, yeah, we kind of already knew going in that Jackie Chan was going to be a lot more trouble than he was letting on, I do like how the movie presented him as more awkward and subdued up to this point to make Kwan doing all these things a little more surprising.
Give me the names.
I tell you what, let's meet face to face.
We'll set... The fucking wanker threatened me and hung up.
Ooh, now he's really upping the ante. What's next? The flaming bag of poop on the doorstep? Now, both sides are hard at work trying to get one up on each other. Liam calls in his nephew in New York, Sean, played by Rory Fleck-Byrne, and Kwan is hard at work on some new toys, because it's evidently a hell of a lot more reliable than the post office when it comes to sending messages. Saphira Stone. I want my blood. The little car bomb he made here was very specifically designed, made obvious enough to be spotted, and set up so that if it did get triggered, it wouldn't have actually blown the gas tank anyway, because this is yet another warning. He can kill them, but what he really wants is names. Liam isn't interested in this little game, though, having his men track him down to that little room he's staying in, and swarming the place to take the old bastard down. Unfortunately for them, though, they forgot to take into account that this is Jackie Chan, so he breaks a hole in the roof before beating one of the goons down and rappelling down the building. There's still plenty more of them to go through, though, and so he does, taking quite a few hits before delivering even more back at them. He utterly decimates the entire hit squad, and Batmans his ass out of there.
Christ almighty, are you dumb and blind? An old man making fools out of the lot of you, and he's still running around out there, for God's sake.
Okay, the bombs and threats are one thing, but the fucking migraine he's giving me is a bit too much to handle. So, new plan. Liam and his wife are gonna go to the farm to lay low for a while, and who just so happens to have made it just in time, all the way from New York, but Sean. So, what does Liam want him for? Not dealing with Quan, believe it or not, but to go to Commander Bromley and work with them to weed out whatever member of the IRA went rogue. Can't do it himself because it'd be a bad look, but Sean here isn't one of them. He can pull it off unnoticed. Ah, well, before going down to the farm, may as well spend a lovely afternoon with your secret mistress. What's the worst that could happen?
Jesus.
Oh yeah, that guy following you around, threatening and besting you at every turn, and it seems like he's not above blackmail. Sean does meet with Bromley, though, in secret, talking about how they believe the bomber is associated with someone in the IRA, but they can't be sure exactly who. Thus, they have a plan.
Different codes will be given to each member of command. When the bombers claim credit for the next attack, you'll tell us which word they use.
I just love those plans to catch the bad guys by waiting for them to kill more innocent people, because then we'll know where to strike. Knowing that only he and Liam are in on this plan, he agrees, but only on the condition that when they find the bombers, it's the British police that get to take them down. Back with Liam, however, he's getting set up on the farm, hearing about the latest obvious bomb planted by Quan, but found before it could do anything. They're sure he's fine here, and their men will track him down in Belfast before long. Gonna be a bit difficult, though, as that's not where Quan is. He's currently living out of his handy-dandy van out in the woods near the farm. He's preparing another surprise for Liam. Waiting until nightfall, he slips in and does the handy-dandy stealth takedown on a couple guards and finishes planting his little present in the barn. Well, that's what happens when Harvest Moon starts targeting the Call of Duty market. So yeah, wife's not happy about picking everything up to go to the farm, only to find out that this place is blowing up just the same. Noisy neighbors, am I right? However, in case you forgot, there is that no artificial flavors IRA cell kicking around, and they seem to be building a new bomb, hidden within a laptop battery pack. Making it is one thing, they've also got to plant it, and that's where Maggie, aka Sarah McKay, comes into play, running into their target at a bar and ordering 2 drinks. Gotta love a pure-blooded Irish lass. Their blood has to be at least 50 proof. While she gets close to him, Mary is working on getting the fuck away from Liam. She's gonna take the Jaguar and head to their daughter's apartment. Or she would if some asshole didn't just blow the thing up in the driveway. However, the fact that it was a buried explosive charge clues the guys in that he must have had a line of sight to detonate it. Therefore, he's hiding out somewhere in the nearby woods. Thus, a team is dispatched to dispose of the decrepit demolitionist. Except, all those traps he set up. Oh great, now I can't get out of my head the image of Jackie Chan just eating him like a trapdoor spider. One more steps right into another trap. Ow. And Quan punches the other. Problem is they sent 4 guys, so Quan actually gets shot and has to run for it, but he does manage to slip away. Liam knows they could take him down with a small army of men, but that kind of noise would get the Brits on their back again, so there's another plan.
Bring in a tracker, someone who knows the woods, and beat him at his own game.
My nephew?
Why not? He's been sitting on the sidelines for most of the movie. Let him be a bigger player in this story. He seems nice. Where has that kid run off to anyway? Oh, he's at Mary's hotel room. Just checking in on her. That's nice of him. Gotta make sure that Quan Guy doesn't target her, and Also have to, well, those clothes looked uncomfortable anyway. This is interrupted by a call to action, however, which, while, yeah, it does progress the plot, kinda kills the mood, so Sean talks a bit about how he and Liam plan to stomp out that rogue IRA group that's been doing these bombings. You know, in case she's wondering why he's suddenly gone flaccid. She also shares a bit of her own tragic backstory, but we know whose tragic backstory we really care about. Quan. He's still living in the woods, recovering from his wounds Rambo style.
What the hell smells like Hunan-style pork?
The pain of cauterizing is intense and leaves Quan to have flashbacks to that first time his family was torn away from him. That time being done more literally by evil pirates. His first 2 daughters were lost that day. And coincidentally enough, Liam is learning about this around the same time, looking over Quan's various files. This in between even more digging into his own men, as Liam grills Hugh McGrath, played by Dermot Crowley, over the fact that the Semtex used in the bombings has been linked to his dumps, which have coincidentally come up short. It becomes clear relatively quickly that McGrath is perfectly fine with the methods of the organic IRA. Sure, women and children are dying left and right, but fuck the Brits, am I right? Besides, why is Liam all bent up over this? That's not the Liam McGrath used to know.
The butcher the bog side, is that what you want? Well then hear this. You reel in those fucking cunts and end it, or by God, I'll bury the lot of yous.
And I have to commend this movie. Not only is the dialogue full of verbal jabs, both subtle and harsh, but the acting is actually strong enough to back it up. I'm used to this genre involving rubber dolls barking fortune cookies at each other. So yeah, they're not on the best of terms, but in case that's too nice a meeting for your liking, Liam then calls his dog, who just lies there, unresponsive. That's because Quan has also come to chat.
You killed my dog.
Dog's fine. Just sleeping.
Whew, thanks. For a second there, I thought I actually found the movie to make me hate Jackie Chan. Shouldn't surprise anyone, but Quan is here for those names. His gun and the handy-dandy explosive vest is enough to get Liam to cooperate, though he still doesn't have the names. However, he does spill the beans about that plan he's got in motion to catch whoever is responsible. Just as soon as they bomb something else and call the police with that confirmation code that they don't know is specific to them, identifying them much more than simply being IRA.
You have 1 day.
What if they don't set off a bomb by then?
24 hours.
That's the same amount of time. 1,440 minutes. That is my final offer. Things are moving, though. The police have identified that one of the bombers has a burn mark on his hand. Man, that enhanced filter is something else. Speaking of terrorists bombing shit in Great Britain... Fun fact, not everyone in the area was actually told they happened to be filming a movie with a controlled explosion at the time. Police got quite a few calls that day on a suspected terrorist attack. I mean, come on, it's not like it was an asylum film. Slight problem, though. The people who called in taking responsibility for this bombing? Yeah, they didn't use a code. Matter of fact, they said fuck the codes and fuck Britain. This has Bromley less than pleased with Liam, but Liam explains that only Bromley himself and his nephew even knew about the plan. But what's this? The man Liam sent to make sure that Mary was safe and sound reports that Liam's nephew just so happened to stop by her hotel room for like 2 hours.
And after he goes, Mary comes down and calls Hugh McGrath on the lobby phone.
No idea why she didn't just stay inside and use her cell phone, but hey, my memorization of McGraw's number and telescopic vision powers really came in handy. Compounding this, the police have used the insanely invasive network of CCTV cameras colloquially referred to as the United Kingdom to track Burnhand Man around and see who he's been palling around with, positively identifying a very specific accomplice, Hugh McGraw, who they also have to be tracking right now coming to Liam's farm. Thus, Bromley has an ultimatum.
Names and locations of everyone. You can't save him, but maybe you can save yourself. 30 minutes. Get what I need? I'll turn them around.
So the house is getting swatted unless Liam manages to negotiate with McGraw and get those names.
You know I can't do that. That's me being nice. Now, right?
Or that is now that Liam learns that Maggie is actually the terrorist Sarah McKay.
She works for you. Bloody right. checks and balances.
Well, at least they're still on friendly terms. But when McGraw starts going on about how Mary actually hates Liam because of the fuck all he did about her brother's murder, and how she thinks a real man has the balls to bomb as many innocent people as possible to get the job done, well... You do remember the police are coming, right? I mean, I know the commander was specific about how he just wanted the information, but I'm pretty sure they might still have a little problem with murder. So they have the names now, but the 4 realsies IRA are still at work. Sarah boning their next target as a means to slip over to his stuff and replace his laptop battery with the bomb. While that's going on, Sean is in the woods, tracking Quan, which of course means he walks right into his trap, and a battle ensues. It's a pretty nice back and forth between the two of them, as they both trade blows back and forth. As we all could expect, though, Jackie Chan comes out on top. Or, bottom. He wins, okay? Fortunately for Sean's survival, though, Liam just so happened to call him up and let him know the information that Quan wanted all along.
O'Reilly set the bomb that killed your daughter. He's got a burn mark on his right hand.
Watch that literally be all Quan wanted all along, and he's just gonna be like, well, fuck it, I guess I'll just leave the movie then. Them bonding over a bit of their military backgrounds also helps in Quan's decision to let Sean go, so he heads home. But, uh-oh, it looks like Uncle Liam might be upset. Well, I guess that whole banging his wife thing is a bit of an issue, but interestingly enough, he almost lets it slide. You see, he knows because Mary was betraying him behind his back, she was just using Sean as a means to get information that McGraw might find useful.
She tricked the information out of you, Sean. She used you. Shut up!
Yeah, Sean, he's still got at least 10 rounds in that mag, just let him calm down. Liam tells him to just clean that shit off the floor, then go the fuck back to New York. The police, though, are using that names list Liam acquired to keep their sights on the terrorists. They've got the place surrounded, bugged, and have breach charges set up to burst in and take them down. However, someone has just come to the door claiming there's a gas leak, and by law, the technician must go in and check. Who could it be?
Come down when you're done and I'll take you to the next flat.
Thank you. I will be very fast.
So this is what it would be like if Jackie Chan starred in Hitman, as he easily slips in. Sure, everyone is kinda suspicious of the man, but still, he takes this mission as cool and calm as a professional Let's Play of Hitman 2. Let's Play by Call Me Kevin, but hey, it still counts. But this is still Jackie Chan, and Quan finally gets his revenge on the group, reducing them to nothing more than 100% pure ground beef. Though it's another person's errant bullet that nicks Sarah, keeping Quan's moral compass nice and clean. Now that O'Reilly is dead and the police are ready to burst in, Quan easily slips away just as stealthily as he arrived. Also, don't expect the police to be shown as unquestionably moral here, as, yeah, they're trying to stop another bombing by torturing the sole surviving woman into giving them the information as to what the next target is. Working quickly, they somehow manage to find the man, find his laptop, and get it away from everyone with not a second to spare, blowing up part of the airport, but fortunately keeping anyone from even being injured in the process.
Fox Hunt is now terminated.
Understood.
Hooray for the good guys. Therefore, no loose ends ending! The authentic IRA has been destroyed, and Liam, well, his political career is pretty much over. The ties he has to people provably involved in these attacks is enough to screw that up, but Quan getting him to share that hot pic of him making out with one of the terrorists is the real icing on the cake. Not like his wife is going to find out, though. Sean showed up just a bit before to deliver her a bulletgram, and the police decide not to track down Quan. Just keep an eye on him. You know, in case they need to make a sequel at some point. Quan, however, just heads back to the restaurant, just to keep it running. And even though they shared very few scenes together, he still manages to get the girl at the end. And considering it's a choice of that or watching him bleed to death alone in a back alley somewhere, I'll take it. Anyway, that was The Foreigner. The other Foreigner. The Foreigner 2017. And it's actually a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I generally don't go for this genre because of a lot of the films I've seen with this kind of setup just aren't good. They're shot well and arguably written even better, but the execution has never worked. Lots of wooden acting and sterile presentation leads to a film that pretends it's an interesting story involving tons of factions and deep characters, while actually being a big-budget high school stage play. The Foreigner, though, it actually manages to deliver on the concept. You don't just have well-known actors, you have actors who know how to act all around. That meshes with the creative writing and dramatic direction just as it's supposed to, and the overall product is actually entertaining. It did take a bit to get things going, though, as it's not a perfect movie. The slowest parts, I'd say, are the opening and the police raid. Not slow parts by any stretch of the imagination, but not quite up to the quality of the rest of the film. The Foreigner is at its best when you're seeing two seasoned actors engage in a battle of wits that just about is as fast and skillful as a Jackie Chan action sequence. Also, while this movie does have quite a bit less Jackie Chan in it than you might think, especially with him being like the only guy on the Blu-ray cover, he still holds his own. Now, there aren't many scenes of him pulling off backflips and death-defying stunts, but the ones we get work well for the character of Quan. Him being a skilled veteran, though as fierce as he still is, he is well into his twilight years. Overall, The Foreigner is a movie I picked up simply because I already reviewed a movie of the same name and found that funny, and upon seeing the genre I was not looking forward to watching, but I came away pleasantly surprised. It ain't life-changing, but it does moral ambiguity very well, which is more than can be said for a lot of films, coming in at 4 super dangerous Swiss Army knives out of 5. I still really did not expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did. Ah well, as we all know, I've been wrong plenty of times. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Shado, and remember, don't bang your uncle's wife, cheat on your wife, or blow up public areas. These are all bad ideas.
That's me being nice.
Oh my god, someone actually built a goddamn Panda Express out here, hell yeah!